Wow, look at all these wonderful people in the building tonight. It's a beautiful night, and just happy to see everybody here. Before I get into my speech about the Seeds of Leadership, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Ernest Cornelius Hadrick III. Most people call me Trey. Some people call me Mr. Hadrick, Coach, but most importantly, Daddy, for my son Ernesto. I was born here in Norristown, Pennsylvania. My two parents, educators here in our community. As you can see here, they thought in this picture, they thought they were a little bit of movie stars or something. But years ago, blessed to be raised in a big family. I had 50 first cousins. I was blessed as a child to be involved in a lot of community activities, sports. Twigs, North Monaco Twigs was a leadership organization, building at a young age. And I was just blessed from my parents to instill that you have to give back, you have to lead, you have to help others. I was raised here in the school system, public school system. I was blessed to graduate in the class of 2000 from Norristown High School. And I graduated and went to Auburn University for a year, which I was an invited walk-on the football team. From there, I transferred, played football, went to North Carolina A&T, State University, as we say down there in the South, Aggie Pride. And I was able to play football 3 years there and get a degree in business management. During that experience, I learned a lot. I learned some traditions that, I didn't know before, as well as I learned that, through hard work and dedication, you can achieve a goal. Fast forward to 2011, graduated here, my master's in school counseling, part of the Mega South 5 Fraternity Incorporated. I was blessed to have opportunity to come back and work in the school system in which raised me as a school counselor. From there, also had opportunity to start an organization with a bunch of friends called Norristown Men of Excellence, which our main goal was to better the community in various different ways, as you can see here in the bottom. And most importantly, as you can see, is my family in the middle, my beautiful wife Pearlie and my son Ernesto, the rock of my life. Bamboo. I'm not sure if many of you know about how bamboo and leadership go hand in hand. But if you know anything about bamboo, when you put bamboo in the ground, the seeds of bamboo, you put it in the ground and you water it, you turn the dirt over, you try again, year one, nothing happens. Again, you put the dirt, you say, wow, what's going on? The sun is on it, but nobody sees any growth. From there, year two, maybe a little bit, but not much. And you're wondering, why is this happening? Why have I come out every day, I put water on the dirt, and I shovel, and I flip it, and nothing is happening? Well, what is really happening inside? Why is it not happening? But in year 5, in the first 90 days, the bamboo grows 80 feet in the air. People say, what happened? Was that from year 4 to 5, or from year 1 to 5? How did that happen? How could bamboo just all of a sudden grow that fast? But nobody's paying attention to what's happening underneath, seeing the roots and seeing the foundation being built, seeing things happening with the fertilization and the growth. And most people don't know what's going to happen in life. How are you going to be strong? If you're a leader, what are you going to do? What are you putting in to be a stronger person? So for myself, as I looked at this, I equated that similar to leadership. And we'll go into that, the seeds of leadership. First one, sacrifice. Myself in college, I was a fullback. If many of you play football, if you know what a fullback, head-to-head contact, some of the stuff they talk about now, concussions and different things. But honestly, you are a sacrificial lamb. You might go backside on a play. You might go front side on a play. No one sees you. You don't get all conference. You probably don't run the ball that much, but you're doing your part. You're being an asset to the organization and to your team. You're making sure that you're doing your part, even though others aren't maybe acknowledging it, but you're just making sure you are doing what's necessary to help the goal and the mission of an organization or your team. End game. There's a gentleman by the name of Stephen Covey who wrote a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And within that book, he speaks about preparing with the end in mind. And he talks about a story which is very challenging sometimes for people to understand. But he says, imagine going up to your friend's funeral, you're getting ready to read the obituary, and you're wondering how they're going to talk about him. And you get to the casket, and it's you. And he brings that to your attention to say, in life, what is your vision? How do you want people to remember you? And leadership is very similar. You know, you have to plan for the future. You can't just plan for the moment. Many people try to prepare for the moment, especially in today's world, with technology and social media. It's so easy to have things at the click of your hand. You know, it's easy to say, oh, I can get it right now. But that's not ever going to change. Leadership takes time. Growth takes time. You know, and you have to have that vision and understanding that if I put in time and plan things out, as one of my coaches told me years ago in high school, he always said the 5 Ps. And he always talked about 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And he talks about that often, you know, and that was one of my basketball coaches while I was in high school. And that's similar to Stephen Covey. We're planning with the end in mind. And with doing that, hopefully your life will go better than you thought. And you plan things out. And as a leader, that's what you do for your mission. You want to plan and make sure that others are taken care of, because you have to lead. The next E, equality. For 5 years, I was the president of an organization, Norristown of Excellence, that we spoke about earlier. And during that time, I learned that even though we were all friends and we've grown up together from childhood, from probably 10 years old to now, you know, we all had to learn how to work together. And I had to learn how to treat everybody equally fair, as well as make sure they understand that their input is just as important. You know, we've done numerous activities in the community. We did after-school programs, did free football clinics, we did turkey drives, we did awards banquets, did TED Talks prior. We've done essay contests, just giving back in numerous different ways. Police youth forums, there's a lot of things that we've done. You know, and everybody played a different part. Sometimes I know some people are like, well, why isn't so-and-so getting involved here? Why? But I had to take the turn and say, as long as we're all giving a part, we're making a difference. And in leadership, sometimes that's hard because we want everybody to give an equal amount of the pie, and that's not always going to happen. You have to just make sure that you respect what someone is doing and cherish their efforts and their opportunities to give back to make a difference. Development. That's very important. Often people talk about, hey, I want to be the best, or I want to be the leader of this. But what are you doing to hone in on your skills? Myself, a few years ago, I was talking to one of my friends who got on me about, you know, challenging others. Said, well, you always talk about how do you make, you know, others do this, and you talk about, you know, others aren't the best at this. And I said, well, I just believe they could do more. And at the time, I was trying to get myself, you know, prepared possibly to be a coach. And this gentleman, at the time, he was dealing with diabetes. He was going blind in one eye. And he told me, he said, hey, if you go down to the football clinic in Atlantic City, I'll go with you. I'll meet you down there, and we'll go. You'll walk me around if you have to go to different topics and different sessions during the clinic to better yourself as a coach. At the time, I didn't have a job. I wasn't coaching anywhere. But he challenged me at that time to develop my skill, even though the plan ahead wasn't there. I was blessed in a few months later to have an opportunity to coach football at Conestoga High School. But prior, I was still developing my skills. And I'm thankful for that gentleman to this day for challenging me when I was saying so much about others to go out and better myself and develop myself as an individual, as a leader, because I was going to be able to lead children on the football field. Strategy. S for strategy. That's very important. Myself, in 3rd grade, by a gentleman by the name of, I think, David Swank. I'll never forget this man. But he taught me how to play chess at a very young age. And I think that's so important in leadership. How you maneuver, how do you challenge others to put themselves out there and be strong and believe in themselves. You know, sometimes with strategy, a lot of people don't understand it's not always, you know, that you win the every battle. Sometimes you have to lose a battle to win the war. You know, and as a leader, you have to foresee that. Often people don't see that, and they're always, you know, trying to jump so fast. Take your time. Be patient. Strategize. Ask for help. Don't be fearful to ask for help, even if you're a leader. That's one of the things that most leaders won't do, and you don't grow. Sacrifice, end game, equality, development, and strategy. That's your seeds of leadership, which is A-okay. But the most important thing, besides leadership, is saying thank you. In leadership, is saying thank you. And most people don't do that. They think when you get to a certain point that you don't reach back and say thank you, or I'm here, and you have to continue to say thank you. You know, as I've learned from my in-laws, you know, gracias por everything. You know, you don't just say, hey, I made it here, I made it. No, you give back, you say thank you, you ask for opportunities to do more, and hopefully that will make a difference. And if you plant those seeds in the ground of leadership, as we spoke, most likely you will have a better opportunity to affect others' lives and help out in the world. Thank you.